The approved list is a list of companies authorized to debit an account or accounts. Users granted the Act on Approved List entitlement can add companies to the approved list from the transaction history screen. Immediately after changing the transaction status from return to pay, a link will appear to add to approved list. A pop-up box is displayed with the company ID and company name that initiated the debit already populated in the screen. The maximum amount field is also populated using the amount of the transaction used to identify the company. The start date is populated with the date of the transaction. To change the maximum amount allowed, click in the box with the amount. If the value is removed and left blank, the system will pay all future transactions from that company regardless of amount with an approved list pay status. If desired, a frequency parameter can be established. For example, if daily is selected, if more than one transaction from that company is received on a single day, the first transaction will be given a status of approved list pay and the second transaction will be given the default status. The start date can be modified and an end date can also be set, ensuring the transactions received before the start date or after the end date do not receive a status of approved list pay. If the information is accurate, click the Save button. An Add to Approved List button can be found by expanding the transaction detail so companies can be added to the approved list at any time. Here are some key pieces of information about adding to the approved list from the transaction history page. An approved list entry made from the transaction history screen is only valid for the account it came in on. To authorize the company to debit other accounts, go to Setup, Approved List, Edit the record. Adding to the approved list from the transaction history screen does not change the status of the transaction. That is a separate action. The new approved list entry will be referenced when the next transaction arrives. Daily is every 1 business day. Weekly is every 7 calendar days. Bi-weekly is every 14 calendar days. Monthly is every monthly date to date. Quarterly is quarterly date to date. Yearly is yearly date to date. Date-to-date exceptions are non-leap year January 29th, 30th, and 31st through February 28th. Leap year January 30th, 31st through February 29th. March 31st through April 30th. May 31st through June 30th. August 31st through September 30th. October 31st through November 30th.